Hey friends, it's Allison here, jumping in real quick before you get into all the juicy details of today's episode. Did you know there is just one more week left to our 200th episode giveaway where you have the chance to win a full ride scholarship to the Better Belly Blueprint? This is the way to heal your gut so that you can poop daily, ditch acid reflux, and balance your hormones even when nothing else has worked. Here's how you can enter. Leave a rating and review on the Better Belly podcast on Apple Podcast or Spotify between now and May 29th. Take a screenshot of that rating and review, then go to betterbellytherapies.com/giveaway and fill out our 200th episode giveaway form. You will automatically receive an email with a code for $200 off the Better Belly Blueprint, which you're going to get as soon as you send in that form. And then a full scholarship winner is going to be announced on May 30th and messaged by email. If you win, you're going to win a full scholarship to the Better Belly Blueprint. And if you don't win, you can still get $200 off, which is 20% off of the Better Belly Blueprint if you join by May 31st at midnight. So go ahead and leave a rating and review. Get that giveaway form filled out at betterbellytherapies.com/giveaway, and you can finally end your constipation, acid reflux, and PMS for good. Recently in my free Facebook group, I was asked this question. What is one habit I could add to my day right now to start toward better gut health? I thought this was a great question, so I made a podcast episode on it. I gave the question a lot of thought before recording this, and after collecting my thoughts from the 100 plus cases of men and women who I've helped get rid of their most stubborn constipation, bloating, acne, autoimmune flares, chronic pain, fatigue, and more, I really hope this answer is refreshing to you. This is not going to be the average advice you hear on blog posts and from doctors about probiotics or going gluten-free or eating more fiber. I hope my answer today removes, honestly, unnecessary time and money spent on your health journey and helps quicken you on your path to healing. Because if I had one piece of advice I could give to everyone, one habit to add right now to help you have better gut health, it'd be this. I hope you love this episode. Hey friend, welcome to the Better Belly podcast. Do you want freedom from bloating and constipation? Do you find yourself up late at night Googling natural constipation remedies, causes for bloating, or recipes and exercises to help constipation? Are you frustrated with the mind game of trying to figure out what foods are helping or hurting your gut? Hey, I'm Allison, mom, wife, and functional gut health practitioner. At a young age, bloating and constipation were my constants. I didn't know what to do and wished I could just live a normal life focusing on my passions, my job, and my family. I was tired of abdominal pain that woke me up at night and wasting time and money on gut health remedies that just didn't work. Breakthrough moment, the functional medicine and osteopathic approach to gut health. In this podcast, you will find natural remedies for bloating and constipation, practical, doable belly exercises and massages, and debunk the myths about what really is causing your tummy problems. So toss out those laxatives and say goodbye to that embarrassing gas. Your gut health is calling. And just as a reminder, this information is not meant to diagnose, manage, or treat disease. Always consult with your own health practitioner before you make any changes to your health. So I have a sense that on this podcast episode, I would have the propensity to cry. I've actually been crying a lot lately, like happy tears, y'all, happy tears, because of different messages I've been receiving from clients and friends of mine about how things that I've recommended have helped them. I literally just received a text message this morning from a friend who said she just got craniosacral therapy for her baby who's been having problems sleeping. And literally the same night that they got the craniosacral therapy, she started sleeping better through the night. And she was just thanking me for encouraging her to pursue that. And if you don't know what craniosacral therapy is, I wouldn't worry about it for this episode. But all that to say that a lot of times what's happening, what I'm seeing in the healing sphere of the clients I'm working with is that the things that are getting them the big wins, the breakthroughs in their health are all the things that they have never heard of, or that they're not hearing about from their doctors or their friends or from blog posts. And so if you're listening to this episode, I really hope that what I share with you today makes a difference. That is literally my goal in this entire podcast. And maybe that's obvious, maybe it's not. This is not just about trying to get more listens or downloads or be the coolest cat on the planet. I am trying to help people like you really get better. So before to get started, I wanted to actually read the post in my free Facebook group that was shared that instigated this whole conversation. So it's from a woman, and she said, "Your organization was referred to me. I would like to know, what is the one habit I could add to my day right now to start toward good gut health?" And I just really loved the question. I felt like it was super honest, and you definitely get the sense of, yeah, if you show up to a free Facebook group, or you are just staring at this mountain of like, oh my gosh, how do I feel better in my body? You're like, can you just give me one thing? And so I sat down and I really thought about, if I was to really think about all the clients I've worked with, what do they have in common? And what could I share with anyone? Because that one habit, the thing that irritates me when I see that answer, the answer to this question online and blog posts and Instagram posts, is that actually a lot of the advice that's given is not applicable to everyone. So if someone says take more probiotics, that's a really bad idea if someone has SIBO or a candida overgrowth or problems with motility or low stomach acid. And you might be listening and be like, that can't be me. Well, that actually could be. It could be you might have SIBO and not realize it. You might have candida and not realize it. You might have slow motility and not realize it. And therefore, if somebody on a blog post or an Instagram post or a podcast says, take this probiotic, it's really amazing, it actually could make you feel worse. It might not make any difference at all. And you've literally just wasted time and money. So that actually led me to what my one habit is. Are you guys ready? This one habit is stop picking up random habits. And I really don't want this to be a cop-out. I want to actually hear me out on this. So if I was looking at you, if we were actually having a conversation at a cafe or coffee table or in my office, and you asked me this question, and if I didn't know anything about your health, what you were struggling with, what your symptoms were, what your health history was, what you'd already tried, what you were currently doing, then what I would say could be incredibly, like maybe it's something you're already doing, or it could be incredibly off point. And I'm basically wasting your time telling you some cliche good thing to do that's totally irrelevant to you. My goal as a health practitioner is not to make you do exactly what I do, because there are things that I might do that helps my health that is totally irrelevant to you. And there are things you might need to do that I will never do, that because it's not relevant to my optimal health. The common stuff online I really thought about, it's like drink more water, eat veggies, take probiotics, eat more fiber, because at different points in history that had been relevant to larger points of the population. Also, some of this information comes from research that we're now realizing is maybe not as good research as we thought it was, even things like low-fat diets, etc. And there's a lot of controversy. And the other point is that when you start to even think about diet, there's no one perfect diet for everybody, right? If you even think about it this way, this is something that's been helpful for me, is that I might have a client who has a lot of history, like their cellular biological history comes from Norway or Africa or, China. All these different areas of the world have different diets. I've been to Indonesia, and they ate an absurd amount of fruit there, at least what was unfamiliar to me, because they're a tropical island, fruit's everywhere. And in America, in the Northern Hemisphere, we do have fruit, but it's like in the fall when apples are growing, or in the spring when strawberries are growing, but not all winter. And there's different foods we're going to rely on in the, in area, there's some cultures that rely much more heavily on meat. I always think of Vikings in this way, right? They're in this very, very cold climate where things aren't going to grow, and animals are going to be a way that they can kill things and eat things over a very long winter period. And so that's a super meat heavy diet. If you actually look at cultures, some cultures are basically keto. Other cultures are basically vegan. Other cultures are basically grain-free, and it really just depends. And so you can look at these people, not just individually, do you have candida, but even, there's a chance that some of the things that feel good in your body is maybe even because of what your body has historically grown up with thousands of years ago. And so, not to make things too complicated, I don't care about, if someone has a Viking history at all when they come in and work with me, but I do keep that curiosity and openness in mind that when you pick up random habits, the new, like, I'm going to try keto, I'm going to try gluten-free, etc., it's not making my clients feel better. And when they come to me, they've already tried a million things and haven't felt better, and they just are exhausted. So I want to help you avoid the exhaustion. So if you're saying, okay, I'm not going to pick up random habits, what should I do instead? This is what I would say to do instead, which is get personalized advice. And this doesn't necessarily have to be working with some hoity-toity doctor who has this really high, like some really niche doctor, super mega expensive. What it means when I say personalized advice is it's more data and understanding what to use about that data. So more data goes beyond blood work, because blood work, typically it tells you what is going on, but not why. So it might say you have low iron. Well, the typical interpretation of that is you need to eat more iron. That's actually not a good interpretation, because low iron can also be caused by 4 to 5 other things. And that's your why. Do you have low iron because you have low stomach acid? Do you have low iron because you have H. pylori or a pathogen? The body will literally hide iron from even itself if there is a pathogen present and it's trying to not let the pathogen have iron in the body. Those are why you have low iron. And so there's an incredibly simplistic, overly simplified view on health that even has caused us to not use our data well, like blood work. And so when I say more data, I'm talking about looking at all the symptoms you're dealing with, not just, I have gut health problems, but also, I also have some chronic adult acne. I also have problems with a certain autoimmune condition, or whatever it is going on. And then on top of that, getting functional lab testing. And functional lab testing is pretty much any type of lab testing that conventional doctors don't do, that its sole purpose is to find the why you have constipation, why you have bloating, why you have hormone imbalance or infertility. And that type of data is then going to guide you. I teach you how to do all of this. I give you all the tools you need. I teach you how to analyze labs and how to create protocols relevant to that in my course, The Better Belly Blueprint. And this is my the easiest, quickest way that you could ever heal yourself. You don't have to sign up for an appointment for a doctor and wait 2 weeks and then buy something super expensive. It is much more affordable than my foundations program. If you are familiar with that, which is my formerly my one-to-one way of working with clients, I basically took the foundations program and created a course version of it where you can personally walk yourself through it and get the healing that you need. It gives you my 4 foundational functional lab tests that you can order yourself. By the way, when you order those tests, on average, you are saving $100 per test. I recently did, when I had my Clear Your Constipation workshop, I actually did some research on how much those labs are currently going for. If you were to try and Google GI map and just buy it from a web page on the first page of Google, on average, the GI map is $100 more, because what those companies will do is they will add on another $100 to make profit from you. And when they sell you that GI map, which is a stool test to look at your gut health, when they sell you that, they're not even teaching you how to analyze it. It doesn't come with a doctor's appointment to, tell you what they found or what it means. And it definitely doesn't come with what to do about the information that comes on the lab. And when you join the Better Belly Blueprint, not only do I give you access to my 4 foundational functional labs, not only do I give you literally the wholesale price, the cheapest that you could ever get it, I also teach you how to analyze it yourself and what protocols to do based on what you find in those labs. And that is personalized advice. It's not this kind of flailing of trying to do something that you don't actually need to do. That's why I really try to avoid just giving these blank statement advice on my podcast. And maybe some of you find that frustrating and think I'm holding out on you. I'm not. I'm actually trying to really save you time and money and get you the results that you are looking for. The other option is that you could book an unstuck session, and that would then get you face-to-face with me, and we could talk about your symptoms. We could talk about any type of lab testing you currently have. We could talk about those things, and that's another way you can get personalized advice. True, you can totally try to talk with somebody to do that. But one of the cheapest, best ways I found is the Better Belly Blueprint. And if you go to betterbellytherapies.com/blueprint, you can join today. For one fee, you pay once. And then when you join, you automatically get put into my Better Belly membership for 3 months, which includes biweekly group coaching calls. So you can still talk with me. You can show me your lab results from the 4 foundational functional labs that you order. You can ask me questions based on your symptoms of what labs should you be focusing on, or what you are currently if there's anything that I think you should change. Again, always based on data. In these group coaching calls, I'm always asking you questions about your life so that whatever I'm saying is tailored to you and what might be helpful to you. And then on top of those biweekly group coaching calls, we also have our members only Facebook group, which is where you can get day-to-day support Monday through Friday and just come in and ask a quick question about whatever you're doing. You can ask questions about diet change or about your lab results. And that's a great way that you can get really quick practical advice and feedback without having to wait for things like a doctor's appointment. So you get 3 automatically included months in the Better Belly membership. And if you want to stay on for longer, I have a very low monthly fee that is literally cheaper or the same price as someone's copay to go and see a doctor. So go to betterbellytherapies.com/blueprint. I would love to see you in the group. Stop trying random things, picking up random habits for better gut health, get personalized advice in the cheapest, fastest way possible that I know of, which is in the Better Belly Blueprint, and see results. And honestly, start to have a freer, more enjoyable life and save time and money without having to try random things, random supplements, scrolling on TikTok, whatever it is going on, and just generally feeling frustrated at night, etc., when you can't sleep and you're feeling your symptoms and you just want to feel better. So go to betterbellytherapies.com/blueprint or click the link in the show notes, and I cannot wait to see you there. Hey friend, I hope you loved this episode. If you've been a fan for a while or newly loving this podcast, can you do me a favor? Drop into Apple Podcasts and leave me a review. When you leave a review, you do so much. You help me know you're listening. You can tell me what you're loving so I know what to make more of. And you help others by boosting this podcast so other people like you can find the podcast too. I mean, it's a win-win-win, right? So if you want a way to pay it forward, just go to Apple Podcasts or click the link in my show notes and leave a rating and review. And if you want some more free stuff, just head over to my free Facebook group, betterbellytherapies.com/Facebook, and you can get access to all of my free support for you, including some Facebook group exclusive stuff like my podcast episode vault, where you can search the Better Belly podcast by topic and find exactly what you need to expedite your healing. I cannot wait to see you in there. Catch you guys next week.